Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Whenever you are watching this video, I hope you're doing great. Welcome back to my channel, and it's been a while, and I know I haven't posted any lesson video because college is hard. I need to juggle my academic responsibilities and student responsibilities because I am student leader of Cagayan State University, Lasam campus. But for today, we are going to tackle an English lesson called Parts of Speech. This will be a series because this first video will be the introductory one. So without further ado, let's jump to the lesson proper. But before that, this video aims to demonstrate understanding of grammatical concepts by being able to describe and analyze meaning and use of various English language structures. So this lesson is all about parts of a speech, specifically the 8 parts of a speech. So what are these? We have nouns, pronouns, verb, adjectives, adverbs, conjunction, preposition, and interjection. So these parts of a speech can be seen in sentences, in phrases, or in passages that every one of us can read in our day-to-day lives. However, we're not just aware of these concepts or ideas of the English language. But this lesson video will serve you as a lesson video for you to be able to understand and analyze what are these parts of speech. So let's go to first part or first concept, the nouns or pangalan in Filipino. Nouns can be name of people, places, things, or ideas. There are types of nouns: common nouns, proper nouns, collective nouns, and compound nouns, etc. For example, in the sentence, wow, Taylor Swift has released a new album called Midnights, and the tracks are really bop, and it is one of the best in her discography. In this sentence, we can see that there are, of course, examples of nouns. We have Taylor Swift as the name of a person, album, Midnights, tracks, one, and discography. These, my friends, ladies and gentlemen, are examples of nouns. It can be name of people, for example, Jericho, for example, Prince, Lemuel, and other name of people. For example, places, Quezon City, Manila, things, laptop, desktop, table, or ideas. These concepts or ideologies of noun can be attributed to its concept. So when you see name of person, places, things, or ideas in a sentence, you can always proceed or have an idea, that is a noun, that is an adverb, that is a name of a place of things or ideas. These, my friends, are what we call nouns. That is the basic of the parts of speech. So we have already tackled noun, but let's go to its another branch, which is the pronoun o panghalip in Filipino. Pronouns or pronoun takes the place of a noun. Most pronouns stands for, refer to, or replaces a noun phrases or replaces a noun phrase within a text. And there are types of pronouns: reflexive, intensive, reciprocal, demonstrative, indefinite, interrogative, and relative. For example, I, you, we, they, he, she, it, me, us, them, him, her, this, and those. These are examples of pronouns. However, there are types of it. But in the later video, when I have the time to, of course, take another series of this, I will dig deeper or have an in-depth analysis about the types of pronouns, nouns, adverbs, etc. In this sentence, wow, Taylor Swift has released a new album called Midnights, and the tracks are really pop. It is one of the most or it is one of the best in her discography. The pronoun it, referring to a neutral base or gender based or abstract based pronoun, and the word her as a pronoun for women, we can deduce that pronouns really takes place of a noun, because we have said a while ago that nouns can be name of people. Instead of putting Taylor Swift as our main noun, she replaces it, or the word her replaces the word Taylor Swift as the main noun. So that's it. That's the pronoun, because at discourse level, we somehow uses or the word pronoun. We're asking the people we interlocutor with or we converse with and asking them, what is your pronoun? And the person will say, my pronouns are he and him. So that's it. That's the pronoun. Now let's go to verb or pandiwa in Filipino. Verb shows actions or state of being. It has 4 inflections. Words that ends with s, ed, en, and ing. There are, of course, types of verbs: intransitive, transitive, ditransitive, linking, copula, complex transitive, and prepositional verbs. For example, talk, run, play, is, are, etc. So these verbs and other state of being can be those that, of course, it has inflection. For example, there are singular, there are plural, and when we are talking about plural verbs, these are words that does not end with s. For example, they run, they talk, they play. And when we use it in a singular sentence, we use she talks, she runs, she plays. And in the usage of is and are, is singular and are can be considered as plural. In the sentence, wow, Taylor Swift has released a new album called Midnights and the tracks are really bop. It is one of the best in her discography. In this sentence, there are at least 5 verbs: has released, called, are, bop, and is. Has released has a connotation of the word has released. It is a present tense of the verb. And when we are calling or when we use the word called, it is a past tense of the word or the verb call. A new album called. So that's the verb or the concept of verb. Always remember that it shows actions or state of being. Now, let's go to adjective. Adjective or pang-uri in Filipino. It describes, modifies, or gives more information about a noun or a pronoun. There are derivational morphemes. For example, the words ending y, al, adl, ed, full, less, ish, I've, and use. For example, healthy, racial, understandable, age, hopeful, boyish, active, and famous. These derivational morphemes can be considered as adjective. However, some of you, or a few of you, my viewers, are not aware of these concepts of adjective. It simply modifies and describes a noun or pronoun or more information about a sentence. For example, small, big, old, young, long, and short. In the sentence, wow, Taylor Swift has released a new album called Midnights and the tracks are really bop. It is one of the best in her discography. In the sentence new, it describes that Taylor Swift has released a new album. And it says that it is one of the best in her discography. These adjectives really describes and modifies and gives information about the sentence, because in the sentence there are nouns and pronouns on it. Now, let's go to adverb or pang-abay. Pang-abay or adverb modifies verbs, adjectives, another adverb, or even a full sentence. Well, there are of course types of it. We have verb modifier, adjective, adverb, sentence modifier, the adverb of frequency, adverb of relative time, adverb of manner, adverb of place, and adverb of time. For example, eagerly, really, fast, perhaps, popularly. This, ladies and gentlemen, my dear friends, in the sentence, wow, Taylor Swift has released a new album called Midnights and the tracks are really pop, it is one of the best in her discography. The word really is an example of adverb from the word real, and we put ly. Always remember that when we are referring to adverbs, these are what we call the structure of verb plus ly. Always remember that we have popularly, beautifully. What else? Sweetly. These are adverbs. Always remember the structure plus ly. Always remember that when we're referring to adverb, it can modify verbs, adjectives, another adverb, or even a full sentence. And like what I have mentioned a while ago, I will do a series of parts of the speech discussing the in-depth analysis of the concepts about nouns, pronouns, adverb, adjectives, and verb. However, this first video will be the introductory part. Now, let's go to conjunction or pangatnig in Filipino. Coordination is the process of combining ideas, joins two or more words, ideas, phrases, or clauses together. Traditional grammar calls this compounding. We have compound sentences, compound subject, compound verb, and compound object. And there are two types of conjunction: coordinating conjunction and subordinating conjunction. For example, the mnemonics fanboys, for, and, nor, but, yet, or so. These, my dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, really connects sentences. For example, there are what we call independent sentences or independent clauses. We connect it to dependent clause that makes the sentence really interconnected to one another. For example, in the track or in the sentence, wow, Taylor Swift has released a new album called Midnights, and the tracks are really bop. It is one of the best in her discography. We connected the new album Midnights and the tracks, because in an album there is what we call track or tracks or the music. In this sentence, the Midnights or the end uses in a manner which is connecting the sentence or the dependent clause. Taylor Swift has released, independent clause. Taylor Swift has released a new album called Midnights, and we connected it into a dependent clause. The tracks are really bop. Always remember that we are using conjunctions to connect dependent clause and independent clauses. So that's what conjunctions really talks about. Now, let's go to preposition or pang-ukol in Filipino. These prepositions are really somehow a pain on our asses because somehow there is no exact preposition in Filipino, and we are having difficulties in dealing with them. The in, at, on, with, within, across, behind, above, under. So preposition or pang-ukol in Filipino shows the relationship of a noun or a pronoun to another part of a sentence. Variations use of preposition, we have spatial proximity, time and degree of approximation, telling time, time in a period, temporal termination, location lower or higher than something, location in and at the rear of something, and location adjacent. Example, there are words like in, on, at, under, between, from, it, about, or for. For example, this remote control is on the top of the table. And when I put this remote control at this part of a table, we use the word under because this remote control is under the table. For example, I put this remote control at the back of the table. We call it, or we use the word behind the table. And when I put this remote control to this part beside the table. So you see, the usage of preposition depends on the place of the thing or the pronoun or the noun. So in the sentence, wow, Taylor Swift has released a new album called Midnights and the tracks are really bop. It is one of the best in her discography. The usage of the word of and in as the preposition in the sentence. I'm not advertising Taylor Swift, but I am a fan of Taylor Swift. We call ourselves as Swift. But aside from that, let's go to the last part of the 8 parts of speech, the interjection. Interjection came from a word or a mnemonic or an etymology in, inter, internal, injection, meaning to say we inject words in a sentence. It expresses somehow a strong feeling or emotion. For example, aha, well, hi, whoa. That's the examples of interjection. In the example or in the sentence, wow, Taylor Swift has released a new album called Midnights and the tracks are really bop. It is somehow, or it is one of the best in her discography. The word wow in the sentence can be neglected. However, it somehow shows or expresses a strong feeling or emotion because we are referring to Taylor Swift, and when we are referring to Taylor Swift, she does really good music, an album, and of course a concert perhaps, because we are referring to the word wow as our emotion because we are being excited, we are very feeling an ecstasy or somehow sort of that, because these interjections really shows or expresses strong emotion or feeling in a sentence or even when we talk to someone. So a quick quiz, there is a lyrics in this, the anti-hero in the new album of Taylor Swift called Midnights. I will give you 3 minutes to answer it. I just identify whether it is a noun, pronoun, adverb, verb, adjective, conjunction, interjunction, and preposition. The lyrics go something like this. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. At tea time, everybody agrees. I'll stare directly at the sun but never in the mirror. It must be exhausting, always rooting for the anti-hero. So, I will give you 3 minutes to answer. The timer starts now. And time is up. So let's reveal the answers. For the noun, we have problem, tea, time, sun, mirror, anti-hero. Pronoun, it's me, I, everybody, and it. We have verbs, agrees, will, is, stare, must, be, exhausting, and rooting. There's no adjective in the lyrics, but there are, of course, adverbs like directly, never, always, conjunction, but, preposition, at, in, and for, and interjection is hi. So, I hope you have learned something about pronouns and other parts of the speech, and I hope I have given you a part and parcel of my knowledge as a future English teacher. And that ends my presentation or discussion. Goodbye, everyone.